This is dated when it was uploaded in 2014, January 10th, 2014, right there. Right. I just saw it right now. It just popped on my YouTube feed. This is disgusting, but let's watch it.
Very dramatic day in court as a young man learned his fate. He beat his girlfriend's little boy to death because he wouldn't stop crying. Brittany Smallwood has more on today's sentencing for us. Hi, Brittany.
Teresa, it was intense at sentencing. The courtroom was packed with family and friends supporting the defendant, Dylan Shoemaker, and the victim's family. As soon as the case was called, Shoemaker walked through the courtroom and started crying, telling everyone how sorry he was.
I didn't mean to kill all of you. I really did. I didn't mean to hurt him.
Dylan Shoemaker walked into a state Supreme Court room pleading his case, telling his victim's mother in the court he's remorseful for what he did. Shoemaker was sentenced Friday for beating 23-month-old Austin Smith last March. Before the sentence was handed down, Shoemaker and his defense attorney fought for the minimum sentence, 15 years to life.
So he beat this little child to death. What, he was like 2 years old, because he wouldn't stop crying. You know, honestly, I saw the reaction. I was like, well, you know, I just saw the title, "Teen Cries Out During Sentencing," and I'm just like, well, what did you do that was so horrible that, you know, you felt remorseful when you were sentenced, when you didn't, you didn't know why you were doing it. But that's what it is, and it wasn't just that. It's disgusting. I mean, it's a 2-year-old. It wouldn't stop crying. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I was harassed by a 4 or 5-year-old. I mean, I wouldn't touch her. I wouldn't hurt her. You know. In fact, maybe I should have been more harsh. Like, no, don't do that. It wasn't my child. Even if it was, I probably would have, you know, taken better steps so they would have done that. But then this, what creeped me out, this is the reason why I recorded this.
Before the sentence,
why I'm, you know, making this video.
Was handed down, Shoemaker and his defense attorney fought for the minimum sentence, 15 years to life.
I can't take that what was done. I wish I could. I would give my life for Austin. I love him a lot.
Austin Smith was completely defenseless. That's a given.
But there were other dynamics at work there, including.
And he says, let me rewind that.
Smith was completely defenseless.
A lot.
Austin Smith was completely.
Austin Smith. So the child was completely defenseless. He admits to that. I mean, he admits that. The lawyer, right? That's what the closing argument during the sentencing. So, you know, there was a trial. I didn't watch the trial and read about it. This is what I'm getting, but this is the most disturbing, one of the most disturbing parts.
Defenseless. It's a given.
But there were other dynamics at work there, including my client's inability to either control his anger or frustration.
The client's inability to control his anger and frustration. Like, if that's your closing argument, I'm talking about the lawyer right here. If that's your closing argument, that, you know, you're defending this guy, he's about to be sentenced, and whether he was intoxicated or on drugs alone, I'm not gonna use that as an excuse. But the fact that he says he couldn't control this anger and frustration to beat up a toddler to death, I mean, it's disturbing in itself.
And his inexperience in babysitting.
Inexperience in babysitting. That right there, when I heard that, like, jeez, I mean, alright, so like, if someone goes for a babysitter job, which, you know, I assume that was his girlfriend or something, whether that was his child or not, right? He's babysitting the child, and I'm not saying he's an outsider, but let's say you go for an interview for a babysitter. Geez, would you ever like beat the baby to death? I don't know. You don't know? Would you? No. Okay, then you're hired. What is the experience of babysitting about not murdering a child? You know, and it's like I get why that lawyer would represent him, and I get why no one wants to represent me for this stuff, because there's very few illogical and not criminal-minded people. They're both illegal lives, you know. And that right there, that kid, a teenager, he's feeling sorrow, and his little girlfriend is covered up in tears and crying. is I didn't mean to do it. You know what? Why should the United States, this country, pay like roughly 35 grand a year for him to live in a penitentiary? All it takes is a shot, a month from now, from that sentencing, and he shouldn't be alive. Because let's just be honest with it. Let's say he gets locked up, and there's some people like, not me, I'm not a violent person, but let's just say he was in prison with me, and he was getting molested, tortured, and beat up. I could care fucking less. I could give a fuck. I wouldn't defend him. And there's some people that would do that. Let's say a principal saying, oh, he killed a baby, but look at his scrawny ass. I mean, what is he gonna do when he's locked up? He's gonna torture and murder and hurt, And it's not just, I want to defend him for that. I just don't think he has any reason to exist.
Based on his short life now, what is to say he won't do this again?
Well, he shouldn't do it again, but chances are he would. Maybe not to that little time. Maybe he'd do something else egregious and disgusting. If he beats that little kid, no matter how much he was yelling and screaming, to death, I mean, what is he gonna do to someone a little bit older but more disgusting and creepy?
I think it's completely unlikely. It was a situational, circumstantial thing.
In Judge M. William Bowler's last words to Shoemaker, he told the now 17-year-old that in his short life he's caused so much despair to so many people. Bowler said he listened intently to Shoemaker's testimony during trial and called him a manipulator who minimizes his actions.
The record will show that he admitted that on July 23, 2013, in a phone call to your mother from the holding center, you stated, and I got a quote from the court reporter, I am a 16-year-old blonde. Probably all I have to do is cry in front of the jury, and they're going to feel sorry for me. End quote.
Afterwards, Shoemaker was sent.
Did he actually say that? I'm a 16-year-old. Wait, I gotta rewind that. This is insane. Like the vanity of this individual is unparalleled.
On July 23, 2013, in a phone call to your mother from the holding center, you stated, and I got a quote from the court reporter, I am a 16-year-old blonde. Probably all I have to do is cry in front of the jury, and they're going to feel sorry for me. End quote.
After.
Is this I'm not gonna point the white Caucasian thing. I'm a beautiful blonde male. Like, what kind of male says I'm a beautiful heterosexual, for that matter? Not just heterosexual, a decent, even 16-year-old put in that position actually thinks or even says that I had blonde hair when I was 16. I still have dirty blonde hair, close to like that guy, a little bit darker, but. When a person, a child, is murdered, you murder him, and you're gonna think you're gonna cry in front of jury, and they're like, well, he's crying, he has blonde hair. Like, what is the purpose of that? Actually, no, that's the thing we don't need in this place, And I'm not gonna be saying that he'll go locked up, because it was what 8 years ago. I don't know what's happened to him. I could care less. But if he, he's a punchbag to somebody, release some stress, maybe that does some good, except that's evil and creepy. I just feel like, that life shouldn't even exist.
Shoemaker was sentenced to 25 years to life behind bars. Shoemaker's defense attorney, Joseph Terranova, says he plans to immediately appeal the sentence.
Immediate appeal to serve. Well, I guess, he got compensated enough, or that's the procedure, right? Appeal a sentence. No appeal for this on this docket. There should be no appeal, no appeal whatsoever. And the fact that they didn't, I didn't watch the whole trial. I didn't read anything about it, but there wasn't anything like, well, he wasn't he was in the house. It wasn't like it was a mistaken identity, and it wasn't like somebody pushed him to do it. It's just ridiculous. His life shouldn't exist. He should be terminated on the spot.
Saying the death of Austin Smith was not intentional. Reporting live in the newsroom, Brittany Smallwood, News 4.
Very dramatic day in court.
Teenager sentenced to lengthy prison term for killing his girlfriend's 23-month-old son. Not intentional. Yeah. This is a web page for that story. I'm pretty sure it could be found in the obituaries when he's laid in a cemetery, but not intentional. Little kid, right? Lollipop, right? Just smiling, enjoying his life. Before the 23 months. I never wanted to hurt Austin. I never wanted Austin to die. Dylan Shoemaker, 17, said in a tearful apology to his 19-year-old girlfriend in a Buffalo courtroom. What we just saw. Where was it? At 16, that's what I guess that's the judge. At 16, you knew right from wrong. You knew it was wrong to keep punching his head. Keep punching his head, yeah. Why did he punch his head, And he said he put a pillow on the back of his head and punched to stop him from crying. Let's just have a logical conversation about this. You put a pillow on a toddler and you punch it. It doesn't matter. You could put, I don't know, a whole mattress, and that's saying you're gonna press on him. The fact that you engage in hitting him is a matter in itself. And the appeal of it wasn't intentional. I mean, the fact that even that lawyer or that law firm even tried to do that, it's a criminal in itself. It's very illogical, and it's a monstrosity what that is. It really is. It really is. The fact that they even allow him to make that appeal, I would like to talk to that lawyer, put him, ask him a couple questions, right? Including all those people that are in that law firm, right? It's not about the law firm and court system. It's just a bunch of individuals that are demonic and no logic and just are out of their mind, really. He loved you, he trusted you, and you betrayed him. Yeah, I don't know if the kid really loved him, but alright. Because a 20-month, a little toddler, you make him laugh, you be nice, you're nice to him, and he'll grasp for your attention. But this is where it gets really interesting. I don't know if it was here or some other website I read it. So let me just, as the family speaking out. The fact was, I read that his girlfriend got kicked out of her family's house, and she was staying over his. She was working as a waitress, I believe, in a restaurant. She was working in a restaurant. That's neither here or there. Oh yeah, this didn't have to happen. Terra Nova told the judge, if the Smith family hadn't thrown Ashley and Trin out of the house, they wouldn't have ended up at Dylan's home, with the children being babysat by a teenager who was unable to control his anger and ill-equipped to take care of them. Right. Terra Nova. Right, that's the freaking lawyer, right? It didn't have to happen. See, all that had to happen was the parents did not kick, the adolescent girl out of the house or whatever, and not to be with him. See, it was their fault, right? So why don't you just prosecute the parents? For maybe the fact that maybe she was a juvenile, she didn't do the right thing. Maybe she was experiment. Who knows what her lifestyle was? But the fact that this lawyer actually said that, it didn't have to happen. See, they kicked it. Like, what is this? Second grade? We're gonna have to get I'm gonna have to get naughty on you and tell you're the boo boo. This is ridiculous. Like, why is he even allowed to even say that? He should be prosecuted. I want to know what's his mind. What has he done in his life? This is unbelievable. The fact that this didn't have to happen if the Smith family hadn't thrown Ashley and children out of their house. I mean, this little kid, this little wannabe man, juvenile delinquent, murder somebody, and you're and you're pointing the fingers and at the situation of like her changing her address. This is absurd. I mean, this is unbelievable. But you know, I bet you, some people from MyBlog.tv notice that, and they're gonna call me a psychopath. I mean, you guys are just obviously, telling on yourselves. You really are. You're giving me a lot of fuel for the fire. But I didn't start it. You did. Terry Noah said the minimum sentence of 15 years to life would be a more reasonable punishment, given his client's tough childhood. Tough childhood? Listen, I had a tough childhood. I'm not going to murder a 2-year-old. I'm not saying murder that freaking lawyer, just that his life shouldn't even exist. I'm not a murderer and a killer. Tough childhood. And why is he even paying attention, This is like, objection, shut up, go get a brain, and leave my courtroom. That's how it should have ended. And I'm not gonna put the judge down or the whole court system, but it's a sham to begin with. There's people that just have no freaking logic or mind. This is why that little kid didn't live. What about the protection of the community? The judge asked Turner, if he is released in 15 years, who's to say it won't happen again? And I think in the video he said, we don't know if, I'm not going to get into that. It's a joke. Except it's not funny. It's a horror show. This is the one time where, Hollywood should get behind this and make a horror and a comedy show starring your favorite actor that doesn't give a damn. Maybe Will Smith. Oh, and we could put Chris Rock in there and his, Will Smith, sliced little head over there. The alien and shit. To blame anyone other than Dylan for what happened flies in the face of reality, said homicide prosecutor. I mean, obviously, there's degrees to this stuff. I'm not sure. I don't know why his girlfriend was with him to begin with, but there was something else here that I read. It's not about even that. I'm not gonna get into that right now. That's very not circumstantial, but there's degrees to that stuff. Let me see. Where did I find that? I read a line that he was texting to have a sexual a menage a trois or something, or a sexual experience, and he was trying to sell his friend's drugs. When the text ended, he started beating on the kid. And did that lead to his frustration? Because he didn't have his little drugs to sedate him from his anger issues. I mean, geez, the fact that he maybe went to a psychiatrist, and the fact that diagnosed him with some kind of disorder to contain some whatever that was just eating him up, it's another thing. Let me tell you, I've been to a lot of psychiatrists and therapists. Yeah. Really care about you as long as you pay them on time. And if you don't, they get psycho or some stuff like that. Because it does happen. Yeah. Who's the real psycho? Who's the money grabber? Who's the evil? Who's the greedy one? Who's the murderer? Who's the psychopath? Who's the faggot? Who's the pedophile? Motherfuckers. The fact that I really want to show this on video. Because I read a couple minutes ago and I popped this up, and I wasn't gonna even get into this, but this is shocking. It's really shocking. This is your society, or dystopia and lack thereof. This is one of the reasons why people try to control someone. We can't control this. This has to be exterminated. This isn't a life. This is an illegal, a subhuman vessel. Vessels. Who knows what those cops were there in back of him, what their mentality was. I had experience with a lot of them. They didn't say the things they said, but they sure as hell seemed like it. That's one of the reasons why I was anxious and creeped out and went crazy, Put me in a room with those people and have a conversation. I mean, I don't know how to act around them. I'll be very angry and, I mean, talk about being crazy like around these people. That's, here, I found it. I'm a 16-year-old blonde. Probably I have to do is cry, and they're going to feel sorry for me. That's what he said. There was something and here it is. In those texts, the judge noted Shoemaker tried to set up a sexual tryst with a girl and sell drugs to his friends. But when the texting stopped, the beating started. Was he frustrated? Did they insult him? Did he make him enough money? Did he get into sexual pleasure? I mean, and the lawyer over there is gonna appeal for what? I mean, this happened already. All right, I'm not gonna even. The fact that this is just egregious to the level that I can understand. I mean, this is a freaking monster right there. That's a total monster. And I'm not gonna point the obvious. Like, if I was in school with that kid, like I probably would make fun of him. Not just make fun of him. I don't want to even pick on him. Like he would probably say stuff about me. He'd probably try to hurt me and stuff. That's what they do. I know a lot of people like that. Maybe not. Maybe they wouldn't beat up a 2-year-old, but they probably think about that stuff. And there was other things, There was other things like his medication, He had let me see. Doctors prescribed medicine for Shoemaker to treat his anger and attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. But he chose not to take it, Shoemaker said during the trial. Alright, so attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. He was really riled up there, right? He couldn't concentrate and all that stuff. Yeah, when you're in that level, you probably get that, right? But you know what? The fact that he's like that it's another disorder, and it should be looked upon seriously. And he decided not to take it, right? So he's gonna go to the doctor and say, what if he says, yeah, I took it, right? Mommy gonna have to watch it, right? It's your little not just your America with a UH, right? But it's your little society, your little perfect little world, right? Right? That you so put on your television with your Billy Mars and your little, your little Fox News, your little NBC, and your little lesbian with their crooked haircut, right? Your little twitch your legs guy, right? Your other retard that wants to burn people with a gas can, huh? Your little other FedAF or whatever guy that, is intelligent but is an a-hole, right? Your little Jon Stewart's over there. We're behind puppets, right? Your little Stephen Colbert, the Frenchman, right? Yeah, your little media, right? You think we're gonna believe you, huh? You think any of you might have an opinion on that? Would any of you actually, did something about it, huh? Keeping him honest. That guy has to do it once a week or something like that, huh? You think it's about you even? You cowards. You have no morality. You have no heart. I know where you're from. Yeah. But anyway, it's not about your little media outlets with your helicopters and your news channels and, little microphones and shit telling people where the fucking storm is at. Because the storm was here for centuries, 1,000 years ago. And not just climate change, literally, but this is a freaking storm. Yeah. Why don't you go in a psych ward like I Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or something. See how it's like. So many people probably just be like, yeah, it was good. Because you're dead inside. Including that freaking lawyer and that fucking kid. And who knows who else in the courtroom was just a low-life nobody. Till it hurt them and they realized they won't have the life of hurting people and popping drugs and not caring. Yeah. Anyway, pretty disgusting, right? Pretty disgusting. Yeah. Let's have a ball with monsters. I can't wait for my courtroom date. See how they act after the last time. See if a lawyer answers my phone call, right? Yeah. For what? For yelling? For annoying somebody? For standing up for myself? There you go.